Hello everyone, my name of course is Artimage, and joining me presently is the robot known as Mark Garcia. And lurking somewhere out there is going to be Lost Lake. He was there, but now we just have a chair. Oh, and now we have a Kaon. Hello, the Kaon. We'll just give him a moment to get on in. Well, I move some things around so everybody's visible, because I only have the one webcam, and OBS and Discord don't like to play nicely together. Just scares how the shadow looks about bugs a few times waves. Hello, Morse. Oh, failure to connect your... Oh, that's on my end. Let me try that again. So, welcome in, Kaon. We will have your video up shortly, I hope. Otherwise, appreciate you being here. And I gotta say, it's weird not being the one to kick off the gameplay this year and that being you. How's that feel? Okay, oh, did we lose Kaon entirely? Still having issues getting his video up. I don't hear him now. So, we'll just carry on for now and see if that can be sorted out. Instead, we'll talk about Mark, your... I don't know how we refer... Well, I guess we'll just say Mother Mold, making an X-Men reference there. Apparently put together an amazing quilt that I hope to get, but I'm not going to be disappointed with whoever it goes to. Why don't you tell us a bit about that? Oh shoot! Sorry.
That's okay.
Mark, apparently, my auto unmute for Discord wasn't working again. So, could I ask you to start that over, please?
Yep. I had just given the cheat code on how you could guarantee that you win the raffle for the quilt, but we'll just move past it.
That benefits me fine.
I had talked to my mom about 2-3 months back when we started planning the later stages of this event. And she had made some quilts for some organizations she works with and some people she works with. And I also knew she was trying to clean out some of the fabric she had in her sewing room. So I approached her and said, hey, I'm doing this charity event, building the website, and it would be really cool if we could give away one of your quilts. She's made some throws that just sit in your lap, and so I was expecting something like that, but she really went above and beyond. We polled the community, and they chose Zelda as the theme, and so I'll go ahead and show a part of it here. I'm not going to be able to show the whole quilt because it's so large. This baby is 65 inches by 76 inches, so it's about the size of a full-size bed. This is the back of it. It's got that really cool, like, Wind Waker fabric. But the part that she really kind of went above and beyond on, more so than even that, was the front of the quilt. So she took a set of fabric that she had, and the fabric originally was a large black tapestry with just little kind of snippets of Link on stained glass, and it was, again, Wind Waker inspired. And so she took those pieces, she cut them out into rectangles so that you could really kind of get that as the centerpiece. And she made 520 pieces of fabric, sewed them all together, and then made the backside of this quilt. So it's this gigantic just tapestry of all these really cool stained glass moments from Wind Waker. And I mean, she put 70 hours into it. And yeah, it's just, I'm crazy impressed with, I've seen her work, and so I already kind of knew what to expect, but I really feel she went above and beyond on this one. So
really
just
so nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Do make sure that she knows that all of us here at the Defeating Games charity event do appreciate all her hard work. That is beautiful and amazing, and good luck to everyone who wants to get their hands on that.
Yep, it's a $50 one-time $50 donation or more, and then just be sure to check the communication box that they give you the option to let the campaign coordinators contact you if you'd like to be entered into the sweepstakes for that.
Yeah,
and there are more details on the website.
If we can't reach you, we're afraid we're not going to be able to give it to you, so we'd probably have to move on to someone else. So do make sure you contact that or check that contact box. We're not going to spam you. We're not going to carry on with saying, hey, do you want to make a recurring donation? Because once the event's done, we just kind of shut it down, and you have to wait till next year if you want to donate again. But okay, let's get back
exclusively.
Sorry,
I was just gonna say exclusively for prizes. We need your contact info so that we can send you your prize if you win.
So Kaon, as I was trying to introduce with earlier, you're the one kicking off the gameplay this year, which it feels weird for it to not be me.
I am. I'm very excited for that, by the way. Thank you very much for allowing me to kick off the 2026 Defeating Games for Charity event. I will not be playing an NES game to start off our marathon. I'm kind of the resident NES, Nintendo Entertainment System guy. But today, we kind of themed this. A while back, we talked about games that are meaningful to you, things that you're passionate about. And so I was trying to think of games that were really meaningful to me. And funnily enough, the Untitled Goose Game of all games came up. I played that on the Switch back in 2019. It came out about a couple of weeks before my son was born, and I remember playing that game with him on, laying on me, couple weeks old, and I beat that game just a few weeks after he was born. So it's got fond memories. It's a funny game. It's a fun game. And I have very fond memories of playing it. And now he's 6 years old. He's old enough to play it. And he's been talking nonstop about this game ever since I decided to run it for the charity marathon.
I see he had his own playthrough yet.
Oh, absolutely. Now, there are just a couple of pretty tough things in the game. Stuff that you have to just be a little more conscious of timings and maybe even some thought process about how games work. So there are a couple of things I did have to help him through, but I would say the vast majority of the game he played all on his own. So it's, kind of a full circle nowadays.
So how does it feel racing up your own little gamer like that?
It's fun. It comes with its pros and cons. We talk a lot about stuff, about minutia, and it makes me remember just what it was like to be a kid and whatnot. So some pros though are he's very open. A lot of kids his age, he'll have friends over and they'll navigate right to the Nintendo Switch or the Switch 2. And my son, he kind of has this open idea of what a game can be. He's willing to grab an NES game or Super Nintendo game off the shelf and play anything. And a lot of his friends, you'll see a little standoffish when it comes to games that don't quite look the way they expect games to look,
Biostats has the question, open or brainwashed?
Good question, Bio. Good question. I think you know the answer to that.
And going back to the whole prizes thing, you've brought a couple for us. So why don't you talk a bit about that?
So I just put them yesterday. I put them in their very own original dust sleeves too. These are vintage dust sleeves. So these are coming with these prizes. But I've got two NES cartridges. This is one sweepstakes. So similar to the quilt sweepstakes, the $50 donation gets you into the quilt sweepstakes. But if you do a separate $25 donation, you'll be entered in for a chance to win one of these two. We'll start with the gold grand prize winner, moving on to the classic gray cartridge. But what these are exactly are ROM hacks of the original Legend of Zelda. So I got this gold cartridge shell, made a brand new circuit board for the inside, and I was able to program this thing with the ROM of a modern ROM hack of Legend of Zelda, and it's called Zelda Ancient Dungeon. And Zelda Ancient Dungeon, it's a roguelike. It's a dungeon diving roguelike. You play as many screens as you can survive, and you just try to push yourself further into the dungeon. What's especially cool about this ROM hack, and this is why I'm so in love with this ROM hack, is that many times when you play modern ROM hacks, maybe randomizers, what you have to do is use some sort of web app or even desktop application to generate a new seed to generate your ROM that you play, whether it be on a flash cartridge or via emulation. All of the randomization happens right here. This game is essentially infinitely playable. It's got so much randomization already built into it, and all you need is just one cartridge. playable on real hardware too. There is a YouTube video that Calamity Nolan posted. We posted on the Defeating Games YouTube account of me describing these and showing the game off. So these things work on real hardware. I had the classic gray one in my top loader right next to me and played just a few rooms, and it's a blast. You get, sometimes I was blessed while making these. I was blessed with getting the white sword in like room 2 or something like that. So I was smooth sailing for 20 stages after that, and it was a lot of fun.
I mean, if you're like very thorough in the original game, you can get the white sword before the first dungeon anyway. So that's not too surprising.
So these are super cool. I most certainly encourage anyone, even if this is a mantelpiece for you. It came out so well. You know, I had not purchased a gold cartridge shell before, and the ones I got, they're pristine. It came out so nicely. I'm so happy with it. $25 donation. Check that box. We've talked about it before, but check that box that allows us to contact you if you want to be entered into the sweepstakes so that we can get in touch with you. We'll use that email address as your entry, and if you win, that's how we notify you.
So the Nerd in Me has a few questions about those. First off, just for the people who are going to be more interested in the game, the ROM hack itself, is there an actual endpoint to that one?
In that one, so I don't want to give away too much.
Well, you
but
don't have to say what the endpoint is, just a yes or no.
I will say that there is a first and a second quest. So that should
proper Zelda method.
It should kind of frame that there may be some sort of endpoint if there's the ability to change over to a second quest.
Now, did the cartridges, like the actual circuit boards, require additional hardware, or were they like pretty standard NES cartridges?
Yeah, so for those ones, in the past I've made some cartridges myself, but depending on what type of game it is and what map of the game, there's a lot of technical hardware knowledge to be had there for NES era electronics, but depending on the game, it can require different electronics, and that particular game is called a Mapper 1. It's an MMC 1 chip. And so what I did was I bought from a company that specializes in making all the different Mapper hardware. I bought a circuit board and just the Mapper, and then myself, I flashed the ROM onto memory I was able to solder onto the circuit board, and then all the other auxiliary components that were required. So there's a brand new circuit board, and actually there's I have a short video. There's a post up on Imager, imgur.com. I made a post the other day. I can share that with you all. And there's a very short, I said, bonus time lapse of me soldering all the components. So it's like a 8-second video of probably 15 minutes of work of soldering every single component on this thing. And it comes together really quickly. So yeah, I'll try to share that in our Dev Game Club Discord so that you guys can see it.
Yeah, definitely something we should do. And if somebody can actually get that video up to post in the chat, that'd also be helpful. Tim says that he finds it really cool that you're able to do that with the hardware there. Like,
thank you,
your
Tim.
background, though, isn't like this electronic sort of thing, so it's not surprising.
That's right. Yeah, professionally, I am an electrical engineer, so I'm very familiar with the insides of electronics. And one of the passions over the years that I share with not only just myself, but with close friends, college friends, even childhood friends, is the passion for both electronics, retro electronics, and video gaming. And that kind of all merges together right there for me at the Nintendo Entertainment System.
All right, and Lost Lake, you've been awfully quiet today, but that's not atypical for you when we have you on calls. What is it you've got lined up for today? You don't have any big prizes to give away, unfortunately, but you're quite excited about your own runs.
Yeah, I'm super stoked about my run of Minecraft Decked Out 2 later. It'll be on Sunday, so more Minecraft for me. But it's super influential for me because it is a game that is built in Minecraft, in survival Minecraft. So it's got the Minecraft, the builder, the game design, all kind of tied into one. So it's one thing that I really felt I should showcase.
Well, Tim says he still can't believe what you're doing is real. And this is not something I'm familiar with at all, and I don't know how many others are who aren't outside the big Minecraft community. So let's see what he's getting here for us. And then maybe he can give us a
game
little bit
within
of
a
detail.
game is pretty impressive with in Minecraft.
Right.
Okay.
So this YouTuber right here is part of a large server, kind of like what we've got going on with the Realm and whatnot. It's a big group. You can see most of them up here on the shelf. So he does have friends helping him get resources on some of it, but it's also one of those where he has technical knowledge in the game of how the redstone works. So if there's a mechanic that you kind of need, like a timer ticking down, he knows how to do that.
So what are the details of this decked out thing? Once again, for those that's not versed in Minecraft so deeply.
Oh, don't even think about Minecraft.
Okay.
It is its own game itself. It is a deck building roguelike dungeon crawler.
Okay. So you're kind
You
of
get
doing a sort of
Deck
Slay the Spire
building,
within
roguelike,
Minecraft.
you get a compass. It's gonna point you to your treasure. Get in the dungeon, get in the treasure, get out. You get more points. You get better cards, and that'll mean that you can be in the dungeon longer to go in and get more loot.
Tim is just agape right now, he says. So this is apparently a big thing for him.
I'm excited.
And is this in Java or Bedrock, or is it available for both? And which one are you playing, if so?
This one's in Java. I know it runs in Java specifically. I think Bedrock, it will work. It takes some tinkering just because the systems are different. I'll be running Java just because it's as easy as a world download and 2 mods. The mods are not for building. It's for... You'll see when I go through it, there's a couple of sound effects, and there's a couple of like models that have been added in, but that is it. Everything else has been survival Minecraft. There is, however, on the new season, because these guys run seasons every year and a half or so, they'll switch up the world, they'll nuke it, start a new one. One of these other guys, Impulse, has a game, and it runs in both at the moment. So they're doing better at that. They're trying to figure out how that works. If the new decked out, which is being built right now, will work in Bedrock, I have no idea.
Well, only one way that we're going to find out, so we'll have to wait and see.
Time will tell.
Gotta say, on a personal note, though, like, I was... As much as, like, the Java platform there for Minecraft did get a lot of things behind it and a lot of community support and things, I'm kind of glad they moved away from it, because I think Java is the worst programming language that exists. Like, the concept was nice, but, like, the execution on it, just as time went on, was not feasible. That's how I viewed that. So, we'll go back to Mark here for a second. Mark, you've done a lot of back-end things. Why don't you talk about, like, some of the big things that you were happy to integrate on this year's Defeating Games website?
Yeah, so first and foremost, I just want to remind all the listeners that it is a real website. Everybody
Yeah,
needs to know
Tim.
that first and foremost.
It's not like a real website,
Very
it is a
real.
real website.
No, last year it was kind of a fly-by-night thing. For those who don't know, I had built a Discord bot for the Dev Game Club Discord that was called JuneBot on a Heroku server, and I kind of piggybacked a bit on her to use and create some API endpoints for the website last year. And those API endpoints were mostly just to get the Twitch updates when people go live and feeds filtering into the site. And what wound up happening was during the event last year, Bio would pop in and be like, "Hey, this is happening. Can we update this part of the website?" And so I would have to jump in, make changes, and update the site in real time. And obviously, nothing can ever go wrong when that happens if you're working in production. So this year, what I did
all these
was
changes are like smooth as milk. I don't know what anyone complains about.
obviously, I only ever push changes directly to prod. No. So what I decided I wanted to do this year was try and create a more streamlined way that we could handle things. And I wanted it to be where our planning committee kind of worked. So I built out a Google Sheet that kind of filled in the streamers, the games, the schedule, all of that. And then on the back end of the site, I built distinct API endpoints for all those things so that Bio and Calamity could make the updates they needed. I could just hit a button, it would synchronize, and everything on the site was presented the way it needed to be presented. And it's made it to where making changes and modifications is a dream. Like there's no longer a need to push anything to production. On the website side of things, we can literally go into that sheet, treat it like a database, make minor updates. We've got the revision history. And overall, my hope is that it's going to just make so many aspects of the campaign go so much smoother this year for us. And it's a good thing too, because we have so many more streamers and the event is so much longer this year. And I'm so excited for that.
Over double the streamers from last year. So 25, I think we had 12 last year, a dozen, and we have 25 this year. Last year's campaign, we were aiming for $6,000, and we were aiming for $5,000. And we nailed it and went all the way to 6. And this year, we've set our sights on $7,000. And with all the additional help, I hope and sincerely foresee that it's possible with everyone's help. They're all joining in, spending time, hours on stream, and encouraging everybody to donate for the Video Game History Foundation. Unfortunately, I'm gonna go do some stream prep. I'm gonna be live in about 9 minutes.
Yep, and we will see you shortly, Kaon. Yep, thanks for participating.
Appreciate you hosting this, Artimage, and I'll see you gentlemen later.
Yep, we will drop by and dump off the audience for you. Catch you soon.
Bye-bye.
All right, and that's Kaon leaving us. So, do appreciate all his hard work. He and Lost Lake have also done a lot to provide a lot of information for our streamers and things like that. Just some general help tips, some assets, including some of Mark's art there. Mark's done a lot of the artwork as well. And also going back to the website there for a second, I don't know how many of you have paid attention, but that homepage does have an Easter egg that many of us of our generation certainly recognize, and it does come with a nice little thing in there. So if you haven't taken the time, go and find it.
Yeah, and I mean, while you're talking about that, Artimage, I do want to just shout out if people do visit the About page of the website, you can go and see the special thanks. Obviously, huge thanks to all the streamers for the event, but then also Biostats, Calamity, Kaon, Lost Lake, Artimage, so many people involved in making this event happen every year. And I just love seeing members of the Discord community come together and get it going.
No, it seems every year that I'm doing less and less, and I'm not upset about that, because as I said the first year, admin is not my strong suit. I was so glad when Bio stepped in and took care of so much of that. Calamity making big steps to support him with that as well is just nice. Like, I know where my strengths lie, and I can do these things. It's just a lot harder for me, but it's like right within Bio's wheelhouse, so it certainly suits him as well. You like volunteering all your time and efforts on that back end stuff and making it so smooth between you and Calamity at this point. Like, it's become a well-oiled machine and a dream, like to a point where my presence as an organizer feels incredibly redundant. And again, it's not a thing I'm upset about. I am always happy where if somebody is better suited, please go ahead. I am not here trying to mark my territory. I am here to do what I can to make something as good as possible. So if that means I step back from something, cool. If I'm the best suited for it and I step into it, also cool. So certainly not an issue for me. Lost Lake, why don't you touch on some of the challenges that you found with putting together that streamer information packet, if there was anything that really needed some time and thought, aside from the revisions?
Not really. It was really just revisions for info for what we're looking at in the new year. We wanted to be a little bit more clear about how to sign up and use things like Tiltify. So we tried to have a bigger blurb as to how Tiltify worked, because it's not a system that
it's not friendly, I would say.
yeah, that's a great way of putting it. It's just one of those. We wanted to make it easy so that if people had no streaming experience, they could still walk in and feel like they had like a base to work on, a foundation to build their stream on, and have us there to help pick them up.
Yeah, it's definitely a good way for if anyone hasn't done this sort of thing before. It's like, here's the basic things you need to get started. Like, it's right up there with some of the streaming books I've seen out there, things like that, just really condensed down without a lot of extra anecdotes and things like that. It's just like, here's the pure information you need. This will be the good way to get yourself running, get on the ground, get running. Like, there's no real fluff, but it's all very informative. And the bonus is, with us being able to tailor that to, this is our event, this is what we want to see, this is like the basics. We're really able to do that and include the details about Tiltify and things like that. So it is just cohesive and simple, and someone doesn't have to spend all their time like, where can I find this idea on YouTube or Reddit or wherever else? It's all just right there, and we're able to say, yeah, this is all the basics. If you need further help, reach out to the community, because we're all here to help. And like, that way it isn't just posting onto the void of Reddit and hoping somebody responds. It's no, there are people here who are going to support.
Yeah, it's just to help make it more approachable. And that way, people who are less like experienced streaming might jump in next year because they've seen someone else do it.
Yep, and we make it as easy as possible. We want this to be as painless as possible for everyone, except Mark, because we don't recognize the value of robots around here, aside from their basic mechanical output, especially when they're deep faking all over my stream.
Apparently, I'm not supposed to be able to do that if I'm a robot.
I mean, there's plenty of things that you could have already pre-animated just to throw in there to try and throw us.
In all seriousness, about the event kickoff and everything, I did wanna pause real quick, if we could, and y'all are okay with it, to talk about a streamer who won't unfortunately be joining us this year. And I know Lost Lake and Artimage, y'all both really adore this streamer as well.
Beating me
Belmont,
to SOB.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
That's fine,
I just saw
it's
the
fine.
time and knew we were going to have to be kicking over to Kaon.
Yeah.
But I know last year, Belmont closed our stream out with an amazing stream where Brett and Tim joined in. And unfortunately, throughout the course of the year, we lost Belmont. And he was a big member of the DGC community. And he did an amazing job during his streams. I really strongly miss him. I'll be donating a bit in his honor this year during the stream as well. But I want to pass it to y'all and let y'all talk about him as well, if you need to.
Lost Lake?
I definitely missed him setting this up this year. There's a few things that he and I had talked about on the back end that we had wanted to try to do, and I definitely lost focus when I lost him. We played games on the side, we chatted on the side. It was more than just like a Discord friendship at some points. But really, I'm losing my train of thought here. On the spot, thank you.
Come on, you had to know what was coming up.
Right?
He was just a huge ray of sunshine.
Yeah, pure
in the
positivity.
Discord and everything. Like, so positive, always just checking in on everyone to make sure they were okay.
Yeah, even when he was going through his own things, like he was just I think that was part of his coping as well in those things, though. It's like, okay, I've got the hards going on, what's brighten somebody else's thing where I can feel good about it and be maybe a little cheered up, even though I'm having my own difficulties now, which is not always easy to do. I know I try myself plenty of times, but there's plenty of times where it's just like, I just can't, so we're just gonna get through this. Part of that is just me being a problem solver as a person, though, so it's like, this thing is a problem, needs to get dealt with, let's fix it. If I can't fix it now, let's just put it on the back burner, worry about something else. And yeah, his passing is what inspired my choice with my primary game for my fixed time slot this year with Castlevania 3. I know he was more of a Richter Belmont fan, but after what Nocturne did to him and the affect that voice actor put on this character, like, I can't, I'm sorry. Like, the kicker to that one too is the actor has a good voice. I just don't know why you need to try and go for that gruff thing going on. But like, if they couldn't have done any better than with Richard Armitage in the original Castlevania series. And so with that, between my love for Castlevania, the portrayal of the character in that, and missing Belmont, we're doing Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse this year for me.
Got one more just before we go off.
Yep.
There's a lot of hate towards the Silent Hill movie at the moment. Belmont would find that silver lining to tell me about the movie.
Yep. Absolutely.
Absolutely how he would. All right, so that brings us to the close of our pre-show. Thanks everyone for being here. We're gonna head on over to Kaon now.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for taking part, including the robot. I guess we'll appreciate all your back-end work, but I think next year we gotta find someone living.
Thanks for having me, Artimage.
No problem. Thanks again for all your hard work. It's very much appreciated. And we have a new follower. I don't see who that was because I have my windows everywhere. All right, everyone. I will see you all later tonight for covering the street. Well, overnight for us here in North America because we are spread a fair bit. But yeah, I want to make sure that we do not have any. Oh, it's FS still. There it goes. I want to make sure we do not have any downtime. So let's head on over to Kaon to kick things off with our first game for this whole weekend. Say bye, boys.
Bye, boys.
Bye, boys.
All right, we're clear.